Welcome, my name is Richardt and I'm an artist, and today I am going to paint a beautiful painting of the Kogelberg Mountain range, which is part of the Western Cape biosphere, and it is going to look really beautiful. In preparation, I have already mixed all my colors out over here, and that is because this is going to make it much easier for me to start my blocking and what have you. Okay, so we start off with titanium white, lemon yellow, primary magenta, ultramarine blue, blue grey, cadmium red light, cad yellow deep, buff titanium, Van Dyke brown, cerulean blue, terverte green, cobalt blue, and those are the colors we are going to use here. So I start with a basic sketch that I just put in there with a flat brush and some solvent medium with a little bit of burnt umber and a bit of raw sienna. And then I proceed with the blocking. Using large brushes, I will start off blocking in large shapes, big simple shapes. And for my mountains, I will use a little bit of Prussian blue, ultramarine blue, some Van Dyke brown, and a touch of buff titanium. And as the mountains come closer, I will use more of a deeper ultramarine blue, together with a bit of primary magenta into the blue, some cobalt blue. And you really want those mountains to have a warmer appearance as they come closer, as opposed to the mountain in the distant background, which has a more hazy feel. And this absolutely contributes to the feeling of depth that I want to create in this painting. Okay, so I completed the blocking, and as you can see, I've got the painting all set up. I'm starting with the darkest first. I'm getting nice big simple shapes. And the thing is, in your blocking phase, you just have to get paint on the canvas. Okay? I've got the receding cools of the mountains going in there with a nice warm purple as the mountain comes a bit closer, and then we're going to soft bluish, reddish colors mixed in with the greens to keep it in a receding form, and then as we come closer we model darker. So I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Alright, it looks very promising. It's a nice little scene. I've got the sea coastal area sweeping in here on the beach, and I've got a bit of a road that meanders along there. I'm very excited about it. So let's take it to the next level. Let's start doing the modeling phase. So here I am painting in that mist that I saw on the day that was coming over the towering peaks of the mountains. And that just really helps me create that beautiful atmosphere I saw on the day. So usually I just use a very thin film of lighter paint. In this case, a little bit of Prussian blue, a little bit of blue-grey mixed in there, and just a little bit of Prussian blue. And then very lightly just dry brushed over, and that gives me that misty feeling. Now when it comes to the actual cliffs, I want to create more texture. So I use my palette knife to build up those cliffs, and it helps also create a lovely dimension. And then I guide it back with the brushes. I really wanted to get the effect of those rolling cliffs as they come down and just create a really beautiful atmosphere there. So you can see in those mountains that after the flat layer of paint that I first put in, we can really accentuate those cliffs. And that dark carries those highlighted cliffs pretty well. and helps me to create the dimensions that I'm looking for. And also then I can go further back in with the darks, and I can just carve out the shapes and craft the shapes of those mountains to really create that magnificent structures in the mountains that I saw on the day. Going a little bit further, I can now start creating more nuanced tones in the cliffs with some middle darks and middle lights, adding to the overall shape and dimension of these cliffs. So I decided to just create a bit more interest in the foreground, and I used a bit of artistic license, as you can see. I added in a few aloes just sporadically along the cliff faces, along the coastline. And these aloes are common in South Africa. They're found all over the country, and they often can be seen on these cliff faces, growing in between all the vegetation. And they really add a unique feel to the painting, especially when the flowers are blooming and you have these red hot fiery pokers with beautiful pinks, oranges and reds. Adding to that, I decided to put in a little bit of highlight into the middle road there, just to kind of guide the eye further along the picture all the way up the coastline, up to the rolling hills, there to the mountains as well. And it's just all part of making this picture look as engaging as possible. Now I'm adding some cloud shadows from those misty clouds floating down the mountainsides. And to me, that is just one of the most amazing features of this. You know, when you see these walls of tall mountains and these misty clouds just coming over, and the shadows that they create is just such an amazing experience to see that. And I really wanted to capture that in these mountains. And I've added the red hot flowers of the aloes there. And now I'm starting to go into a more detailed phase in the painting. I'm bringing about little nuances of color and detail, not too much though, but just to create the texture and the feel of the rough terrain. So lastly, I just want to talk about glazing. So first, I wasn't too happy with the amount of drama that the painting was creating. I didn't feel that the depth that was there was enough. So what I decided to do is to put on a little thin film of dark paint and just go deeper into the darks and make it deeper. And you just want to spread your paint out thin and flat. It's just like a blanket layer that goes over and helps to create more dimension. It can almost transform your painting instantaneously. But do work sparingly with the solvent. If you are glazing, use it sparingly, not too much. You kind of want to just work that dark paint in and really create the effect with more paint in ratio to solvent. I also want to just say thank you for watching this till the end. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you can. Thank you and have a wonderful day.